A question for the philosophers. Have you ever wondered what a Friday the 13th movie would be like if it was told from Jason's perspective?
No. No.
Here's the thing. In a Violent Nature had quite a bit of hype before it came out. Why? Well, I can only speculate as a mere cosmic terror, but I think it had a lot of hype because it advertised itself as different. And yeah, I think it advertised itself pretty accurately. Now, is that a good thing? Is this really the kind of movie you want to have or add to your collection of best horror movies of the year? Let's dive a little deeper without spoilers. The spookiness will begin now. Okay, so has anyone seen 2012's Maniac? It's a POV movie from a killer's perspective. You only ever see the movie from his eyes, and you would only see the killer, main character, in reflections in the mirror and whatnot. Needless to say, it's interesting to see a new style of storytelling, and it's extra interesting to tell it from the perspective of someone who is as crazy as this SOB.
Okay, now, this might sting a little. Okay, good. Good.
Now, in Maniac, our main guy is not a mute. He talks to people around him, he even talks to himself, and we are able to get to know him and the people around him. And that allows the viewer to feel things because we are able to get a little bit invested in these characters. Now, take away all of that and put it aside, and you get In a Violent Nature.
No good. Wow.
I understand the idea behind this movie, and I do applaud the people who made it for trying to do something new. But what did they think was going to happen when you make the main character essentially a corpse that doesn't speak? How can we get to know this character? Well, you kinda can't. How can we get to know the characters around him? Well, you get some slim pickings with character development and empathy. The only times where you can get a little bit of either is when the mute stalker is stalking and not actually doing much. Now, there are plenty of people who like movies like this, pretty similar to Friday the 13th. You don't really give a shit about any of the characters, you just want to see people get axed. I mean, did anybody really care about him? Or this guy? Or her? Yeah, that's what most people talk about when they talk about these kinds of movies. The kills. Some fanatics talk about who played the better Jason.
Who the hell cares?
So yes, this movie has a few kills that will be the talk of the town on the internet, but there's plenty of walking scenes. And then it cuts to the next part of the day. Did you really want that? He is the main character though, so we gotta see it all. This guy is no John Wick. Even that Russian a-hole spoke a little bit when we got some moments where we could feel for him as a character. You will never feel for this guy. And since we get little to no depth into the other characters, you won't feel for them either. You may have noticed that I haven't dived much into the actual story here, and it's not just because I'm doing a non-spoiler review. There is not much to talk about. You want to talk about kills? I could talk about kills all day, but I can only give you like a few minutes if I'm only talking about a singular movie. I get what they were going for with In a Violent Nature, I just don't think it works as a feature-length film. I think this would have been better received as a series of shorts on YouTube. That will give you a little bit of drive to wonder what will happen next, instead of seeing a kind of aimless figure just wandering around until he hears a noise. Then he goes towards the noise. I like aspects of this flick, but that's all you're gonna get. Little bits of things you like. Another story-wise gripe I won't go too into, but I really do question the intelligence level of our guy here. With Jason, you really got the feel of improvisation and being territorial with a bit of aimless wandering, but here it flips from being kind of a thoughtless killer to a thoughtful killer. And it just doesn't seem very consistent. This is a short one, sorry, but even if I spoiled it, it would only make the difference of like 2 minutes. Not a terrible movie, but you can definitely wait to stream this one. Sorry, Shudder. I know you tried something new and tried to be creative with it, but you were doomed to fail from the start when you decided to make the main character silent and have the camera focused on him 90% of the time. And for those few times that it doesn't, it'll stray away from that aspect just for the sake of like getting a good shot. And it has some good artistic shots, but this is just another example of another aspect of this movie not being consistent. And that's really it in A Violent Nature. Summed up nice and tight and whatever. Anyways, thanks for watching. Stay spooky. Thank you all for watching till the end. We're getting close to monetization. We just need my watch hours to go up. So please, feel free to give a like, a sub, and click to watch one of my other vids. It'll be spooky.